Namaste, Dandavat Pranam. By the instruction and grace of our spiritual master, Om Viṣṇupāda Paramahamsa Sripad Bhakti Madhava Puri Maharaj, we are here reading Srimad Bhagavatam. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. We are also paying our humble Dandavat Pranam to Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada for providing us this wonderful commentary and translation of Bhagavatam. And following the guidance of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, we are praying to Śrīmatī Rādhārāṇī. Yadi sevā-vañcitāḥ yasyāḥ kṛpayā vayaṃ labhema sarvaṃ prāpnumaḥ prayojanaṃ dhāmni śrī-bhagavat pade Kṛṣṇa-sambandhi sarvaṃ cha Yadi na jānīmahe tutam Aṣṭādaśasu sahasreṣu ślokānāṃ bhāgavat-oktiṣu Rādhārānīṃ na vindāmaḥ tadā nishphalam bhagavat yayinam radhikaya kripam vina vyartasyat sarva-pariśramaḥ. If we are cheated out of serving that personality whose mercy awards us everything we need, including residence in the Lord's holy Dham, and all things connected to Krishna, and if we cannot understand or discover Rādhārānīṃ within the 18,000 verses of Srimad Bhagavatam, then our study of Srimad Bhagavatam has been pointless. Without the mercy of Śrīmatī Rādhārāṇī, all of our efforts are in vain. So we are continuing our reading today from Canto 6, Chapter 2, Text 13. Yaynam apanayata kritase saga nishkritam yad aso bhagavan nama mriyamana samhagrahit. At the time of death, this Ajāmila helplessly and very loudly chanted the holy name of the Lord, Narayan. That chanting alone has already freed him from the reactions of all sinful life. Therefore, O servants of Yamaraj, do not try to take him to your master for punishment in hellish conditions. Purport. The Viṣṇudūtas, who are superior authorities, gave orders to the Yamadūtas, who did not know that Ajāmila was no longer subject to tribulation and hellish life for his past sins. Although he had chanted the holy name Narayan to indicate his son, the holy name was so transcendently powerful that he was automatically freed because he had chanted the holy name while dying, ante Narayana smriti. As Krishna confirms in Bhagavad Gita 7.28, Yesham tvanta gatam papam janhanam punya karmanam te dvanva moha nirmukta bhajante mam dridhavrata. Persons who have acted piously in previous lives and in this life, whose sinful actions are completely eradicated, and who are freed from the duality of delusion, engage themselves in my service with determination. Unless one is freed from all sinful reactions, one cannot be promoted to the platform of devotional service. Elsewhere, in Bhagavad Gita 8.5, it is stated, Anta kale chamam eva smaran muktva kalevaram yaprayati samadbhavam yati nastyatra samshaya. If one remembers Krishna, Narayan, at the time of death, one is certainly eligible to return immediately home back to Godhead. Text 14. Sanketyam parihasyam va stubham helanam eva va Vaikunta nama grahanam asheshagaharam vidu. One who chants the holy name of the Lord is immediately freed from the reactions of unlimited sins, even if he chants indirectly to indicate something else, jokingly for musical entertainment, or even neglectfully. This is accepted by all the learned scholars of the scriptures. Text 15. Patitash kalito bhagna sandashtas tapta ahata harir ityavasne senaha pumanarhati yatana. Pumanarhati yatanaha. If one chants the holy name of Hari and then dies because of an accidental misfortune, such as falling from the top of a house, slipping and suffering broken bones while traveling on the road, being bitten by a serpent, being afflicted with pain and high fever, or being injured by a weapon, one is immediately absolved from having to enter hellish life, even though he is sinful. Purport. As stated in Bhagavad Gita 8.6, Yam yam vapi smaran bhavam chajatyante kalevaram tam tam evaiti kaunteya sadha tad bhava bhavita. Whatever state of being one remembers when he quits his body, that state he will attain without fail. If one practices chanting the Hare Krishna mantra, he is naturally expected to chant Hare Krishna when he meets with some accident. Even without such practice, however, if one somehow or other chants the holy name of the Lord, Hare Krishna, when he meets with an accident and dies, he will be saved from hellish life after death. Text 16. Gurunam cha lagunam cha, guruni cha laguni cha, prayaschitani papanam, gyatvoktani maharshibi. Authorities who are learned scholars and sages have carefully ascertained that one should atone for heaviest sins by undergoing a heavy process of atonement, and one should atone for lighter sins by undergoing lighter atonement. Chanting the Hare Krishna mantra, however, vanquishes all the effects of sinful activities, regardless of whether heavy or light. Purport. In this regard, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur describes an incident that took place when Shamba was rescued from the punishment of the Kauravas. Shamba fell in love with the daughter of Duryodhana, and since according to the Kshatriya custom one is not offered a Kshatriya's daughter unless he displays his chivalrous valor, Shamba abducted her. Consequently, Shamba was arrested by the Kauravas. Later, when Lord Balaram came to rescue him, there was an argument about Shamba's release. Since the argument was not settled, Balaram showed his power in such a way that all of Hastinapur trembled and would have been vanquished as if by a great earthquake. Then the matter was settled, and Shamba married Duryodhana's daughter. The purport is that one should take shelter of Krishna Balaram, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, whose protective power is so great that it cannot be equaled in the material world. However powerful the reactions of one's sins, They will immediately be vanquished if one chants the name of Hari, Krishna, Balaram, or Narayan. Text 17. Taistanyagani puyante tapodana vratadibi nadharmajam tadridayam tad api shangri sevaya. Although one may neutralize the reactions of sinful life through austerity, charity, vows, and other such methods, these pious activities cannot uproot the material desires in one's heart. However, if one serves the lotus feet of the personality of Godhead, he is immediately freed from all such contaminations. Purport. As stated in Srimad Bhagavatam 11.2.42, Bhakti parishanubhavo viraktir anyatracha. Bhaktihi parashanubhavo viraktir anyatracha. Devotional service is so powerful that one who performs devotional service is immediately freed from all sinful desires. All desires within this material world are sinful because material desire means sense gratification, which always involves action that is more or less sinful. Pure bhakti, however, is anya-bilasita sunya. In other words, it is free from material desires, which result from karma and jnana. One who is situated in devotional service no longer has material desires, and therefore he is beyond sinful life. Material desires should be completely stopped. Otherwise, although one's austerities, penances, and charity may free one from sin for the time being, one's desires will reappear because of his heart being impure. Thus he will act sinfully and suffer. And it's very interesting, right? It seems so simple. Like, how is it so that just magically someone who starts engaging in devotional service is free of material desire, and therefore their heart is not impure, but someone who's not engaging in devotional service has material desire? Like, how is it being presented as such a simple and profound switch like that? You know, is it being exaggerated, or is it actually like that? And I think it's actually like that, because the whole simple and sublime philosophy of the devotees, right, is the recognition that everything exists for Krishna because of Krishna. Right? And the example is, Sripad Bhaktimadhava Puri Maharaj would always give the example of the child coming to ask the father for money so that they can go buy a present for the father and give that present back to the father. Right? The money that they used to buy the present was already the property of the father. The only difference is that there was some amount of love infused in the transformation of the money to the gift, which was given back to the father. So when we're not in Krishna consciousness, we're thinking everything is due to us, that we are the root of all of what's happening, or some other finite entity is the reason for something. So the shift is, so that means we're also thinking our own limitations, our own faults, our own sinful activity is either our own fault or somebody else's fault, right? Which is, to some extent, it's true that it's our fault. We're choosing to act in that way. But the moment we decide to engage in bhakti and devotional service, even with all of our materially conditioned habits, all of our sinful activities still present, but now the way we think about it is completely different, right? We think about that sinful activity as an opportunity to remember Krishna, as an opportunity to offer anything, even our sinful activity, to Krishna in order for it to be purified. So everything now becomes an opportunity to remember Krishna and to offer it to Krishna. So in that way, even though, we might still find ourselves influenced by so-called sinful activity, we are trying our best, and it's going to definitely be a faulty effort to try to overcome those habits by offering them to Krishna, by saying, my Lord, my dear sweet Lord, this is an opportunity for me to remember you, an opportunity for me to remember my powerlessness before you, and I can only surrender to what your will is. If you want these habits to stop, definitely you can help change my heart and the way I behave. Without your assistance, nothing is possible. I can't do anything on my own. And just by that kind of shift in thought, right, it becomes devotional service, even as we're still apparently engaging in that sinful activity. And slowly, right, Srila Prabhupada will say, you can't find fault with someone who's in the shower. Of course, they're still dirty, but they're in the shower, they're trying to clean themselves. So how can you find fault with them, right? Of course, they're still dirty, but they're in the shower. Let the process take its course. Eventually, they will become clean. So
I love these analogies.
so yeah, our acharyas always give very helpful, practical analogies like that.
I love the one about borrowing the money from the father to give him a gift. That
That's
says a
lovely.
lot.
Yeah, lovely. Lovely.
That says a lot. And it's
That
true.
That was very, very positive. Thank you very much. Really appreciate that. Thank you.
This is all.
And I was going to say, as being, Catholic, the bigger the sin, the more times you have to say the Our Father and the Hail Mary. That's how you go to confession, to clear yourself of your wrongdoings. And the worse it is, the more you have to pray.
Yes, the worst of it all was you got to say one decade of the rosary. Oh, that was a heavy one. What you do there? And the thing was that you came out of the confessional and you knelt down and you said your penance, but if you were there for only, say, a minute, well, then your sins must have been better to be harmless. If you were there for 15 minutes, boy, you must have committed some sins if you're still saying your penance.
Well, you were very slow to pray.
What do they call it? The neighborhood of squinting windows.
Oh. Nosy neighbors. Nosy people. That's funny.
But even that, if practicing religious life in that way is actually cultivating consciousness of dependence and faith in the divine, then that's very nice. I remember recently, right, at Chambercast, if you remember, Chambercast is an event that happens near here in our home in Monmouth County, New Jersey. It's like a podcast that the public can come and view, where a panel of people share things about sensitive topics going on in the community. And one lady there, the lady who is the anchor for the podcast, she shared that whenever something is off in her life or whenever she just needs to ground herself, she starts chanting the Hail Mary prayer. And for her, she really feels Mother Mary's presence, and it really, she could explain for herself, which is how you know it's having a real effect for her. Her consciousness would shift, and she would be more grounded, and so, however people can connect with the divine in a genuine way, that is leading them to some kind of selfless acts. Definitely there's still a gradation of selfless acts that are subtle enjoyment for ourself, and then acts which are even more really deeply free of any kind of self-motivation. But nonetheless, it's all a part of the endless path of spiritual progress. And if we can evolve in a positive direction in our faith and in our consciousness, then definitely we're getting closer to our ultimate goal that we all share, which is the highest kind of love, right? Being able to participate in the highest kind of love. So it's very nice. So I guess we'll conclude our reading here for today and continue from text 18 on Wednesday. Jai Vishnupad Paramahamsa Shripad Bhakti Madhava Puri Maharaj Ki Jai.
Jai.
Jai Srila Prabhupada, Srila Guru Maharaj, Srila Gurudev, Srila Acharya Dev, Srila Tirtha Maharaj Ki Jai.
Jai.
Rupa Nuga, Guru Varga Ki Jai. All glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the worldwide devotees. Sama Bhaktiveda Vrinda Ki Jai.
Jai.
Navadvip Dham Ki Jai, Mayapur Dham Ki Jai, Jagannath Puri Dham Ki Jai, Jagannath Balaji Subhadra Ju Ki Jai, Ganga Mai Yamuna Mai Ki Jai, Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai, Giri Govardhan Gupta Govardhan Dham Ki Jai, Shyam Kun Radha Kun Ki Jai, Tulsi Devi, Bhakti Devi, Vrinda Devi Ki Jai, Jai Harinam Sankirtan Yagya Ki Jai, Scientific Sankirtan Yagya Ki Jai, Princeton Bhaktivedanta Institute Ki Jai, Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat Ki Jai, Nitai Gaura Premanandi, Hari 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 Bol, Jai Shripada Prabhu Ki Jai, Śrīmatī Tulsi Maharani Devi Dasi Ki Jai, Hare
Krishna Keshava Das Brahmachari Ki Jai.
Jai.
Gurudev.
Jai Gurudev. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.